Hello, I'm Zrekan and welcome to Zrekan Reviews. Today I'll be looking at Star Wars Battlefront, the 2015 one, not the one from 2004. Battlefront is a beautiful looking game. The graphics are some of the best out this year. It's hard not to get lost in its beauty. The maps look incredible. Endor in particular looks and feels vibrant, and it's really well detailed. The sound is top notch. They probably lifted it straight from the movies. Blaster fire, vehicles, it all sounds exactly as you would expect. Except for maybe the voices. For the most part, the heroes' voices are okay, but if you hear, in particular, Darth Vader, without a lot of background noise, you'll notice that his voice actor really isn't up to par. Though to be fair, you don't hear the heroes all that often. Some of the controls seem designed for a controller, especially the flight controls. Doing an evasive maneuver with F1, F2 and F3 feels impossible at times. It got me killed more times than I would have liked. You can customize your character models. You can choose from a few different faces and a few variants on those faces. It's not a great level of customization, but it's sufficient enough, I guess. There are several modes for the multiplayer, so let's break them down a bit. Supremacy is one of the best. It's a large tug of war. There are 5 points on the map and each team starts with 2. Then they contest the 5th neutral point. And once one of the teams has that point, they have to push into the enemy's territory and get the next point while defending their own. You keep going until one team has all of the points or the time runs out and the team with the most points wins. In Walker Assault, the Empire pushes with walkers while the rebels try to defend points to get more Y-wings to destroy the walkers. The game ends when the walkers are destroyed or the walkers make it to the end of the map. This is the mode that makes you really feel that you're in Star Wars. Fighter Squadron, you get to pilot X-Wings and TIE fighters in dogfights in the sky, but again, it feels tacked on. There's not a lot to it. And how the hell do we not have any space battles? It's called Star Wars. There's no excuse for that. Blast is your standard team deathmatch, and it shows a lot of the weaknesses of this game. Cargo is by far my most hated mode. It's essentially capture the flag, but it really doesn't work with this game. It frustrated the hell out of me and I stopped playing it as soon as I could. Drop Zone is king of the hill, nothing of real note there, it's simply serviceable. Droid Hunt, you have to control 3 droids and you win if you have all 3 and none are being contested or the time runs out and whoever has the most. It's another simply serviceable mode, nothing really to write home about. Hero Hunt is a little bit more interesting. You have one person as a hero while everyone else tries to kill them, and the last person to hit the hero before they die gets to be the next hero. It gets frustrating quite a bit if you don't get to be the hero, because it feels like you're throwing yourself against a wall in the hope that it's going to fall down. And then there's heroes and villains. Each team has 3 heroes and 3 regular troops, and the goal is to kill all the opposing team's heroes. If you're a hero and you die, you spawn as a normal troop. I found this mode to be quite fun at first. Without a doubt though, this game works best in the bigger team modes. Supremacy, Walker Assault, they're the modes you're gonna have the most fun in, and not because they're all that good. It's the scale of these modes. They cover up for the fact of how shallow this game truly is. You'll notice while playing this game that its shooting is not its strong point. Of course we are dealing with blasters, so there's no ammo and it's all about the heat management. But there also seems to be some random scatter pattern with your shots. The randomness of the scatter pattern really makes shooting difficult. No matter how good your shots are, the scatter pattern might still put them off target. It's clear also that certain guns are better than others. The DL-44 is by far the best all-round weapon. The fact that it's single shot really helps with the scatter pattern especially. And you know what really takes the cake? That you can get it from the get-go if you get the Dulox edition. Which is an unfair advantage on everyone else early on, as this weapon doesn't unlock until level 25. And then there's only 11 guns anyways. It doesn't really add up for a lot of variety. There is some variety though in the star card system. As you level up, you unlock the ability to buy new cards. These cards vary from grenades and rocket launchers to snipers and even a jetpack. And then there's the charge cards. These cards can change your shots to do more damage to vehicles, fire without your weapon overheating, or even make your shots explosive. These take charges to use, so you either have to find charges on the map or buy some in the equipment menu. Again, like the guns, It's clear that certain cards are better than others, and if it wasn't for the fact that cards and weapons become available to purchase as you level up, certain cards and weapons would not be used. This game feels like it comes down to who has the better equipment most of the time. But even then, there's a sense of randomness thrown in. Littered around the map are pickups, and these can vary from Viper Joys to squad shields, more powerful grenades, rocket launchers, all sorts of things that will change how you're playing, if only for a couple of seconds. And then there's the real game changer, hero pickups. Doesn't matter how badly or good you're doing, you get one of these, you're nearly always guaranteed to get several kills. And there's also vehicles which practically do the same. This is a casual game, you can jump in with little ability, get a pickup and wreck house. Or you can just come in and have the worst luck. It feels like every time you play, you're really just rolling a dice and hoping for the best. It never really felt like it was based on your ability. And then there's the cherry on top of this wonderful cake. The spawn system. The amount of times I watched as an enemy spawned right in front of me was ridiculous. Even in the big maps, the spawns are terrible. You'll probably get killed as you spawn a ridiculous amount of times. It becomes infuriating. I should state that for the most part the connections to the servers are good, but I did have a few connection issues while I was playing. This is an EA game through and through, with DLC always being pushed, even when you don't think it is. Even in the main menu there's an entire section just for DLC, just to let you know that you really need this if you want to get the full experience. There's no single player this time round, which isn't always a bad thing. There are, on the other hand, single player and co-op missions that you can play. They're rather shallow though. One of them is simply a horde mode, which isn't that interesting. The best part of them is the cutscene that plays as you get started. One of the good things about these modes is that all the weapons are unlocked, so you can use them and get to try them. It's not the best way, but it's at least something. Overall, Star Wars Battlefront is a good Star Wars experience, but a terrible game. Battlefront feels like a cash-in on the Star Wars name in a year where the new movie is coming out. This is Star Wars Battlefront EA. EA's hands are all over it, and it's clear that they're trying to get as much money out of it as possible. If you take away the Star Wars license, you're left with a game that is extremely shallow. The fact that this is multiplayer only means we should be getting a better and fuller multiplayer. But that's not what we get. Instead we have what it seems to be a stripped down game. I don't recommend this game whatsoever. Don't purchase it. It's fun at first but loses its charm quickly. Anyways guys, until my next review, see ya.